A.J. Manis to start us off.
I watched the cue ball. I was about to say good signs with the one dropping, but the cue ball into the right side, ball in hand, out of the gate for Ferrer. And it did not catch a piece of the 9, so that was 2 rails direct.
Yeah, I mentioned he won a ranking event. Literally just came out of nowhere, not someone we're familiar with at all on the World 9-Ball Tour. He won one of the smaller ranking events in Hanoi just over a fortnight ago. And you know, we always talk about those events and we say smaller ranking events, and it makes it sound like it was almost easy to win it, but you look at the lineups for those tournaments and you look at some of the players you have to get past to win, including A.J. Manis, who he actually beat on his way to that title.
Yeah, that don't play a role. They always do. It's in the back of the player's mind. Not that it's going to make a difference, but it is there. So I don't see a lot of trouble here, Michael.
So he beat the experienced Chang Yu Lung in that final in Hanoi. He was 12-7 up. He got pegged back to 12-10, but he got his chance in the next rack. Potted a 2 along the side of the table and then had a routine 3-9 combination and then punched the air in delight, and a little bit of relief as well because he had been staring at the growing prospect of losing from having been so far in front. And the remarkable thing about that final, you know, when you talk about winning the safety battles, you expect it to be the experienced player, but actually it was the quality of Ferrer's safety that really was such a key to winning that final earlier this month in Vietnam.
Yeah, eerily similar, these two players. Very the ball, maybe a little too quick there. The 8 impeding the cue just a bit. Here's a very good look. Going to the side pocket, and that's a big-time shot in game number 1. Great recovery. Notice how clean the 7 drops there. That does tell us a little bit about how he's feeling.
Yeah, out on the main table at the World Championship against someone who actually has a good deal more experience than he does of playing in this sort of environment. And Ferrer looks totally unfazed by it. Oh, and just as I say that, well, he did leave himself a slightly more difficult 9 than anticipated, but boy, we didn't see him missing that.
Yeah, he slightly raised up on the 8, why the cue ball fell short. Overcut, but typically with the cleaner balls and the conditions, if they miss the ball, it's typically thin.
You've still always got to pop that 9, haven't you, to get over the line, no matter how well you've played and how good you've looked in the rack.
Behind him, he looked a little off in the facial expression. This kid here never gives us anything. There's a really clean break, went directly into the 9 as he'd liked. Now, the green 6 can cause a little bit of a problem. I don't know if the rollout's realistic in this position. And it's not. He is going to the air. Big rewards here. If he can get the blue down, it might carry. Otherwise, I guess you. Yeah, and that's what he tried to do, is go at the 9, but the backup is the distance with the cue ball, and that is not the end of the world. This is long and straight. So he was trying to clip a piece of the 9 here.
Yeah, if you're wondering what Scott's talking about in terms of going at the 9, if you're not familiar with 9-ball, and we know for these big events we get some casual viewers and newcomers to the game, basically the winner of the rack is whoever pots the 9-ball, but you don't necessarily have to pot all the other balls first, so long as you hit the lowest numbered ball remaining on the table first. If that then is used as a way of getting to the 9 and potting it, you can win the rack that way.
And I like his decision there. Just caught a piece of the point with the cue ball in the side pocket. Otherwise, I think he's even better. Manis can use the 8 and 6 here. Yeah, notice the 3. Not in the greatest of positions, even though the 9 is there. Don't let that fool you. Nothing easy about a 3-9 combination, really, from anywhere. I wouldn't expect him to take this bank on. I think you can use the 5. And he's trying to. It's lengthened out on him quite a bit. I don't know if you're playing this aggressively to the top right by any means. Cue ball going away from the 3 if you do. But he's aggressive, you never know.
These two are among 17 players from the Philippines in the field, most of any nation.
Actually, a couple of good innings right there. I really like what Manis did, just rolling the 2 up behind the 6 and 8. And then Ferrer, a nice kick and hold on the blue 2, so a couple of really good innings. And the speed looks absolutely ideal here. kind of a game of cat and mouse right now. Like I said, the 3 really in a funny position. Don't let the 9 fool you like something is easy over there, because it is definitely not easy. It did just become a little easier now in a bigger ball position, now that the 9 is not frozen. Yeah, he still wants to play this 3 rail first, just a tick. You cannot shoot it straight on. The 9 will not go. So this is not easy. Tough to judge from this distance. Michael, he chose to go straight playing rail first, which I felt like was a little bigger pocket going the rail first version.
Yeah, and raising his hand there in acknowledgement of the good fortune he's had in terms of getting his opponent hooked on the 3. It's a bit of good fortune, which in the end has yielded an opportunity for Manus. It's about 2 years ago, I think, we really started to become aware of Manus in a big way on the international stage. He actually got to a ranking final right at the end of 2023 when he was only 16 in Singapore. It was Ko Pin-Yi who beat him. He's been to the last 32 of the Hanoi Open and almost went further, losing Hill to Carlo Biado in a really thrilling match, one of the best matches of that tournament, really.
Actually very similar to one P.S. Labutis. Once down on the ball, does not stroke the cue really at all, just addresses the cue ball and fires. I've seen him at times, I think maybe his nemesis at times under the gun. The older he gets, maybe a little more time he'll take over the cue ball, but it's what makes him the player he is as well.
The 9 goes in, so AJ Manus has taken these very efficiently and very swiftly. So he goes $250,000 for his efforts this time last year, well, just over a year ago, playing for that again, and of course, the prestige title of champion of the world. That's all a long way off. This is first round action. Manus, as I said, one in front here. How's this turned out, Scott?
Yeah, not the best. Again, cue ball low. Did get the 1 down. Boy, the layouts have not been friendly. Is he looking to just edge this towards the 7? All things considered, I don't think it's terrible, that's for sure. Could have a go at the 3-7. I can't tell how far the 7 is off the rail. But if it's just off the rail, it's definitely makeable. Problem is the cue ball is going to come flying up and down. There is traffic. Yeah, I don't believe he intended on making the 7 there. Fortunate he did not get behind the 5 and the 4. This does play to the lower left. Position is not guaranteed.
So many good players on his way to winning that ranking event in Hanoi a couple of weeks ago. Marvin Assis, who's here today, was one of them. So was Anton Raga in a hill finish. And others like Long Duc Tien, Patrick Gonzalez, the quarterfinal against Manus. And for our semi-final win came against Wu Kun Lin, who's been to the semis of this World Championship a couple of times before he just managed to hold on against Cheng Yu Long in the final.
Yeah, tricky here. 4 did beat the left side pocket. It's down low. I don't think he can spin 1 rail towards it, going to the jump cue. He's eyed it down like he's going to play it in the lower left. Boy, triple tough. Yeah, work left to do. He was definitely playing this. Just got it heavy. Good hit. Yeah, I want to get a little straighter. 6 at the bottom of the table here. Might be forced to come 3 rails unless he thinks he can punch twice. Punching twice is a little bit more realistic as far as making the ball. Or can he hold? Yeah, got into the low end of the cue ball a little bit more than he had intended. I think you've got to feather the left side of this and use the 9. All right, he might be drawing towards the 8.
right in front of us, Albin Ocean. He's won this championship twice. Has just won an epic 12th rack to go a couple clear of Emil Gangflow. 7-5 now to the Austrian. Wasn't a great deal of confidence in the way that was struck, Scott.
No, they've been missing these cuts to the thin edge. You know, at your club table back home, you're thinking that the ball might grab a little bit, right, in the back of your mind, traditionally. So these guys don't play every day on new cloth. New cloth, polished balls, ball is going to cut quite a bit easier. Filipinos have been known to swerve a ball like this 6 in. He might be leveled out just chopping it. Wow, how thin can you hit it? He's lost the white in the lower left.
Green 6 leading a charmed life over that corner pocket just now, but not for much longer. And what a golden chance now for Manus to finally get back to that position he was in earlier on in the match of being a couple clear. Well, he had fallen 3-2 behind in this match, but it's been 4 out of 5 since then now for AJ Manus. He needs 3 more, 2-1 against Wee Trong An. As we come back to the main table. What's happened here? Come up dry.
Yeah, the one low. Once again, the cue ball finishing low. Just getting the kiss off the bottom of the balls. Nothing really jumping out at me here. It might pass the 3 in the upper right. There's a lot of defensive options, but the 2 laying over this lower right corner. Yeah, as Michael mentioned earlier, just doesn't seem like there is any rhythm really to either side yet. That can change, obviously.
Yeah, it feels at the moment like one of those where someone's going to fall over the line and be relieved to have got away with it, and the other one will be more disappointed in having just failed to show up on the day, really, than necessarily. But that's another poor one, you have to say, from Manus.
Yeah, obviously straight into the face of the 8. Alexis with a real reasonable look here with an open table. Just about getting on the 3. And that is a trick from here. Don't want to crash into the 5, and then the 8 becomes big. I think you might have to take a steeper look on the 3 to ensure a shot. Can kill this out past the 6 with an inside ball. Yeah, Filipino's the best in the world at that shot there. Soft hands, dragging the cue ball.
Well, it's hard not to see this as a bit of a must-make for Ferrer, really. It's a chance he's eating up. And he won that tournament in Vietnam a couple of weeks ago, and, well, I mean, that just tells the whole story of the match for him, and it's not turned out perhaps as badly there as he might have hoped, but really, if he can take an opportunity like that, in a match where he's got to turn it around from a couple of racks behind, it's hard to see a great amount of hope.
Yeah, for Alexis, it's reminiscent of game number 1 when he came up a little bit short off of the 8. It was a similar shot there. In game number 1, he missed the 9, and now he's missed the 5. Great effort, to be fair. Gives you an idea how small the pockets really are. As he snookered, he is looking away from the line. It tells me he snookered the 8 must be bigger than we think. My goodness, does he have to swerve around the left side of this 8?
Looks like it, and of course, your guess is as good as mine what the cue ball will do if he does make the pot.
How about absolutely perfect? He has overspun it, caught the opposite side of the 5 than what we expected.
But again, not for the first time in the match. It looks as though Ferrer might get away with making a bad mistake. Swiftly back in from that chance. He's down to only 8 and 9 to get back to only 1 behind.
Weak again, kind of a blind ball now. This is missable. Just, I don't know, and expected. He's come up way short. This is a must make.
And there's so much pressure on it. Well, if he missed that, he was facing the prospect of the biggest deficit that either.
Play in the lower right. Watch the cue ball flush into the 9. That is the goal. Obviously getting the 1 down. believe the 3 does play to the lower right. The 4 will help you. Just pinch back a couple of feet would be ideal. And caught the inside of the 2 there. This becomes much thinner. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's so thin. It's going to be close, actually, and the pink is going to be moving pretty good. Made it look fairly easy. Does have a pocket to the lower right, I believe. Yeah, and look at the body language. It's close, extremely close. He's going to have to probably go forward, which makes the make a little more difficult. I don't think he can hold the cue ball. Oh, he had no problem holding it.
Again, ordinarily you would say, hard to see much that can go wrong here. We've seen a number of racks in this match that looked to be heading one way and then ended up going the other after a late stumble. So let's not mark this one down just yet.
This match gives the feeling of a 9-8 finish, either way.
So he looked like he might be falling 3 behind just a few minutes ago, but got off the hook in rack 11. And he's followed.
Short with the 1. Nothing down here. And an open look once again for Alexis Ferrer.
I should say the exception to that, of course, is Shane Van Boening, because so often at tournaments you see him putting in mammoth practice sessions that nobody else does. Don't think he'd ever leave if they just left the place open all night.
Yeah, it's well said, actually. And once again, I think it's still to keep that arm loose for Shane. He's just one of those, he is an absolute machine. He did something at the PLP at Jason Shaw's pool room in Connecticut 2 years ago that I don't think any of us have ever seen. Shane Van Boening spent somewhere around 10 hours each day during the event in the main room practicing the whole event. He ended up winning, but by the end, he was pretty drained.
Yeah, and if there's one event where you really need to conserve energy, it's that one, because you play so many matches and they come so close together. Okay, back to this. Alexis Ferrer has got one last chance here to prolong this contest. Having been 2 behind at 6-4, he had drawn level at 6-all. He's lost 2 in a row now. And if he is to come through this contest, he's going to have to win 3 straight racks. But he has done that already in this match a little earlier.
And once again, he struggled with the high ball so far in this match, and it started early in game number 1 on the 8. Short on the 9. It's caused him problems all throughout the match. It's the high ball. Watch out 9 now. Watch out 9.
That shot is so typical of so much of what we've seen in this match.
Every time he's used a high cue ball, Michael, it's bit him when he's come up short. Game number 1, I think game number 4. It's happened several different times throughout the match. Could have been worse. Yeah, I don't think you play the 9 here, but you just never know with this young man. Job. You'd like to use a high ball here, I think, and just stick. Try and create some type of distance. Maybe short rail would be ideal. Sending the 6 towards the right side, have the proper speed. Or does he just ram it with a low ball?
Is just looking for that one chance he needs to get it done, put the performance out of his mind, and move on to facing Aloysius Yap in the next round.
Yeah, I don't know. Is he looking to the upper right? I feel like the upper left might be. Oh, look at this, the 2-way play, using the 8 as well. Lifted his hand up, kind of like he got away with it. But listen, I'm straight in the heart. Ball's away. I'd say he's finished quite well if he can get out here. The last few games by Manis has been pretty consistent. How about that strike?
Yeah, well, that's the last memory, isn't it? How you finish out the match. And You're absolutely right, he can take that away from it. It looks as though he's going to get there now. And you said earlier on that it looked 9-8 all over. I completely agreed at the time. It was that sort of a match. But from 6-all, it looks as though Manus is going to put together a decent dash for the line. Alexis Ferrer is a much better player than what we've seen today. But he will go to the loser side. AJ Manus will go through to face the world number 2, Aloysius Yap. Manus is the winner by 9 racks to 6.
All citizens, please.